Have you ever wondered how all those big artists that you watch or do or whatever that you listen to, go watching shows, that their instruments stay, their guitars especially, stay in such a pristine sound? You're like, man, how do they get that sound just going from show to show to show to show to show? Because as much as they're playing, doing all that stuff, you're really talking maybe like a week, and their strings should be sounding like, absolutely terrible because they play all the time. I myself played all the time when I was in college. I used to play for 4 6 hours a day, and that wasn't including performances most times. That was just rehearsals and such and whatnot like that. And when you do that, no one could teach me the secret. I didn't know this existed until I started learning from some guys that were in the industry. And what they do is you basically give your guitar a massage in that sense. We're going to like work these strings in and stretch them out. And I'm going to show you some of the different ones. And it's all going to pretty much happen on the 12th fret. Now, why do we want to do the 12th fret? Well, and that's a great question, because the 12th fret is in the center from the neck, center from the bridge, and it's right in the middle. So we're going to evenly distribute this pressure we're about to apply. And I don't want you to be scared of applying this pressure, because if your string breaks, you've got bad string, okay? So don't be timid with this. We're going to start with a good old classic one, and that is the classic grab the string, pinch it, and what? Pull up. Kind of pull up and shake it, right? That's like so common, and we're going to do that over the 12th fret. That's really common to do. I'm going to do it with my right hand, which is not as good, guys. Okay, bear with me. Lift it and pull. Don't be afraid to, apply some pretty good pressure to that. You don't want to but don't be timid. Don't get in there. No, these strings can take it. Okay? Go in there. If your string breaks, then you got a bad string. So, and yeah, everyone knows typically that one. Typically they do it by the sound hole. Truthfully, this is the center of the neck. Will evenly distribute everything, and it's the better place to do it. So, and we're going to do that through. You can typically do it like once or twice, and you should be good. Now, the next step is to literally take 3 strings. I'm going to take those top 3 right there, see? I'm pinch them together. And then I'm going to kind of just shake them around. Okay? I'm going to go up a string, so I'm on these 3, and I'm literally going to move up those next set. I'm going to pinch them. Do the same thing. Don't be afraid of this. Give it some pressure. I'm going to move up the next one. Do the same thing. Don't be afraid to let these strings have it, okay? Don't want to like manhandle them, but you also don't want to be really timid either. So, same thing. And then I'm going to work my way back down. Right there. Okay, next thing, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to grab 4 strings. I'm going to do the same thing with them. Now, did you hear that? Yep. Sometimes you can hear when the strings get loose, and you'll hear them kind of come out a little bit, but yeah, that's good. We're just stretching them out. Typically, either they're too loose down in the bridge, the strings are still sitting down too low underneath the bridge pins, and they're getting pulled up, or up here on the headstock, some strings, they're not quite stretched enough when they're wrapped around, and so we're just stretching those bad boys out. Now, the next step, go through and finish that, make sure I finish that. The next step is to literally putting your hands here, putting your thumbs right here. We're going to take this string, and what we're going to do is we're going to push up with it, okay? Now, again, guys, if your strings break, you got bad strings. But what we're wanting to do, some guys will stretch it all the way to close or near the B string. And they say there's no issue. That worries me a little bit. I don't like to put that much stress on it, but a lot of guys say you can. And so what I like to do is, just because I'm more of a player, I'm not a guitar tech, I just kind of get scared with that kind of stuff. I go just a little higher than the G string with it. But most people say you can go all the way to the B string. I just kind of go right above the G string with my strings. And then you're going to make your way up using your thumbs, okay? Using your thumbs. And then I'm going to go up. I'm going to do the same thing, of course. Instead of, the G string, we're going to be aiming a little past the B string, right? And you're going to be working it up like that. Same thing. Move on to the next one. Stretch it out. Now, clearly, when you get here, you kind of run out of room. I mean, it's going to mess up the cycle. So when we get to this D string, we're going to come up here. We're going to take our fingers and we're going to switch. We're going to swap. We're going to put our thumbs here, and we're going to use these fingers to pull back down. Really, guys, when you get to this top part, I don't think they can really go as far. I would just take the strings and go to the D string. That's what I would do. Take them and push them to the D. That's what I would recommend is the best. I prefer doing it a couple of times or 2 or 3 times as opposed to having to break a string or something in case I just, and you really can't. You really can't do that. If something breaks, it's because you have a bad string. And stretch them out. Same thing there. Stretch them out. If a string breaks, you got a bad string. Same thing. Ugh. Now we're going to tune this. What I want you to do is tune your guitar again. See, some of these have stretched. That's a good thing. We're working it out. Make sure all your strings are in tune again. Okay, and now I want you to go back through. If you had to tune it again, like you did mine, I want you to go back through, and I want you to do the same drills. We're going to take that one string, same process. Take that one string, 12th fret, pull and shake. I'm going to get a little more aggressive with it this time since I don't have to watch the camera angles. Stretch them out. Then take the 3 technique, those 3 strings. This will give you man hand, guys. It's okay. Ladies may not like that as much. Take the 4. Don't forget the 4. The 4 is super important. Make sure you work your way back down once you go through those sets of 3 and 4. So, remember, take the same thing. Remember that last one? Push it slightly above the G string. Some say you can go all the way to the B. Swap. Put pressure on your thumbs. Pull these down. And let's check the tuning again. Oh, that's close. Low battery on my tuner, sorry. Worked that G over a little bit. You might have to do this 2-3 times. Typically, if you're having to do it 3-4 times, there's a couple of things. Normally, there was too much space when we were putting the strings on. They just weren't tight enough. There was too loose, or there was too much underneath the bridge and it was getting pulled out and it was making more room, or we just weren't aggressive with it enough. So you get that. The more you practice, the more you're going to get it. Get my tuner inside here. Now, that top E I tuned just a little bit. It was maybe sitting kind of right here. But the idea is you're going to be strumming, so you're going to be hitting, but as much pressure as I was putting on that guitar, I stretched it all out. You're not going to be strumming that hard. Well, at least I hope you don't. All that work and the guitar stays in tune like that. So I'm going to give you guys a little test of what this is going to kind of sound like. Kind of bend my mic down, get repositioned a little bit, so you can kind of see that these guitars do stay in tune. So let's have a look at that right now. It's an amazing technique, and you'll never have to worry about waiting 3 days to get your stuff in tune again. So let me reposition, since I'm the cameraman, crew, audio, and everything else, director, let me reposition these cameras and the mics, and then we'll take a little peek at what this guy sounds like right now with the strings. All right, so let's take a peek at this right now and see what it sounds like. Now remember, I didn't do any tuning. I did that technique. I did the slight little tweaking, and we're going to see if it keeps in tune after I play, because typically after you restring, you're tuning all the time. So here's something for you. Yeah. Now, let's grab a tuner. Is it on here? Nope, it's right here. Let me grab a tuner as I get in front of the camera and let you guys see this right now for your own eyes right here. Check this bad boy out right now. All right. Now we just played. You'd be thinking we'd be in really bad shape. Let me get in close here for y'all. At home, having the home view. Ooh, barely. Just a little bit. And it's a guitar that stays in tune. Is that not awesome? I'm going to kind of talk right here and get my mic back in place. And so that's typically, there you have it. This has been Joseph Allen Music on how to change your guitar strings and how for them to stay in tune while you're doing this. This is a really cool technique. It's what I learned from some guys in the industry, and it's just a great way to keep your guitar in tune when you change strings. You don't have to worry about days in performance or recording. It's what I do when I go to record in studio. I'll do this technique, and I will I'll have the crisp sound, the most crisp sound I can have, and I won't have to break them in. I'll do it that day, and it just gives me an edge. Every little bit, guys, is a percentage, and it just helps you to be that much better of a guitar player. And just simple stuff, literally how I put my strings on and how I stretch them in can make the world difference from somebody that's even better than you, because you've got an edge that he doesn't. So keep going. Hope like this video, share it, subscribe wherever you are following. If you're not on the website, come check us out, because we got this and so much more awesome stuff like this for beginners all the way to pros. And I would love to see you guys there and teach y'all. You guys keep walking, stay in the steps of the Lord, stay in His steps. 1 Peter 2:21, for this you are called, because Christ suffered for you, leading you an example that you should follow in His steps. Remember, you can do all these big things, but if your heart's not right with God, then it don't matter. So honor God with your lives, even when no one's watching, but only He can see. That's the thing to do right there. So I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching. And go check out more awesome videos and great tunes and lessons and everything else. We got good stuff.
You alone can feel us. You alone, our peace. You alone redeem us. You alone are worthy of our praise. Oh, there's a cross, there's a ransom. We're alive because you gave. Lost souls are now redeemed. Glory to Christ our King.